The recording has started.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello. So I was telling the other teams, I know everyone is giving parents grace time, but you guys can start and it's recorded, and then so that you got after it's done recording, you can just upload it to Class Dojo either tonight or tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, welcome. Who we have here, Miss Austin. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, we've already got our um, cover to the PowerPoint up, but Ms. Lemon, if you could unshare for just a minute, I wanted to do an icebreaker to find out how everybody's day went. So if just for a minute, that's funny. I've got you frozen right there on my screen, Miss Levine. Okay. All right. All right, so fist to five. And I guess this will just be us since we're the only ones here. Fist to five. I can't see it. So Miss Levine, if you will watch the chat, we can find out where everybody is. If you'll just either show yourself or type it in the chat box. Um, how is your day so far? Zero meaning I want to do over. Number one, don't even ask. Two, I could complain, but I won't. Three, it was a good day. Four, it was an okay day. I can't complain. Or five, the best day ever. What do we have here? What do we have? Some people are thinking about it.
Nothing so far.
Okay.
Okay, a four. Fulton Cotton said a four.
Fulton Cotton
It was
said a
an
four.
okay day. She can't
Fulton Cotton
complain.
always has a four. A four or a five. Anybody else?
It was three. It was a three for me.
All right. Well, that's good. That means that for the most part, everybody had a pretty good day. I guess I'll go on and confess that it was, for me, a four or a five. I can't complain. It wasn't, I guess it really wasn't the best day ever, but I figure if I keep claiming it enough, it'll happen. So that's why I always claim a five, but really it was probably more like a four. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Ms. Lemon, if you'll show your screen again, we can go ahead and start. Look, even her picture is happy, Miss Fulton Cotton.
All right, share my screen.
Yes.
Aki.
All right, there it is. Yeah, again, welcome to the Bethune Elementary School Curriculum Night for third grade, team third grade, best third grade group ever, best group ever. And we're so modest. Um, so let's start with our schedule. If you'll just click forward. All right. Our curriculum night agenda, we'll talk about the schedule. We're going to talk about the curriculum, how we communicate our grading and assignments, some comments or questions or concerns that you may have at the end. We'll be happy to answer them as best we can. Okay, so I am Michelle Allen Lee. I am, well, actually, third grade does it all. So I teach everything this year in third grade.
I am Miss Levine, and I am getting acclimated to teaching it all as well. So we are rolling through the motions.
Hello, everyone. I am Mrs. Cravens, team third grade.
Go.
All right, and flipping through the slides for us tonight is Miss Lemon, our other third grade teacher. The EIP teachers are our interventionalists are Mrs. James, Mrs. Gibson, Mrs. Williams, and Ms. Nelson, and they are probably hopping in and out of other classrooms other grade level meetings right now. So hopefully they'll be able to pop in with us at some point. I don't know whether Ms. Cravens is frozen or not, but that's our daily schedule. It changed a little because at one time we were doing math
Okay.
before specials. I meant before lunch.
Calendly?
And
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that
not echoing.
I can't be heard. I can't hear what she's saying. All right, and here we go. And now for our 2021-22 schedule for third grade. We begin our day with breakfast and drop everything and read. From there, we will hear the morning announcements, courtesy of Mr. Pratt. From there, we will have either our PBIS or SEL lessons, depending on the day. Then our day starts with ELA. That is our first subject for today is ELA. From there, we do have a 15-minute recess. After recess, then the students go to specials. After specials, they have us for math, and then there's a break for lunch, and then we'll continue into our math small groups. Once we have our exit tickets for math, then we get into our intervention block, and from there we have either science or social studies. After science and social studies, then yes, there is dismissal.
Is there a delay?
Okay, so language arts and writing. We have our 3 different types of writing that we work on. We have narrative, which are I can statement their target. The student's goal is for them to be able to write an essay that tells a story in the sequence in which it happened. Opinion, which is what we're working on right now. The students should be able to write an essay that expresses their opinion about a topic. And our informational writing, their goal is to be able to write an essay that tells the reader specific information about a topic. Moving on to our reading portion of the goal. Okay, so in reading, we're working on, or they're working on, retelling and using key details from the text. Their statement, their goal, their learning objective. I can retell a story by giving specific details from the text. Demonstrating comprehension, their targets. I can tell the main idea of a text and provide supporting details. I can determine the central message or theme of a story. I can determine the character's motivations in a text, the reasons they do what they do. We also have comparing and contrasting the themes, settings, and plots of stories written by the same author. I can compare and contrast the theme, settings, and plots of stories. I can compare and contrast the information provided in a text. All right, moving to math.
Okay, guys, so for math, we have pretty much gotten through our first semester of math, and we are now in our second semester. But in our first semester, we had our unit 1, and that was our operation in base tens, and rounding and adding and subtracting and place values. So it's kind of like a repeat of what they did in second, and just kind of getting the ball rolling and getting them reacclimated. Of course, we threw in a little rounding, which was a new exposure for them as well. So they want to be able to, the I can statement, I can use what I know about place value and operations and to solve the problems with larger numbers. And in unit 2, they had the relationships between multiplication and division. So they kind of learn more so how they're related and dive into those elements. But they want to be able to say, I can write and solve problems using multiplication and division. And then we hurtle on into unit 3 with patterns and addition and multiplication. And they want to be able to say, I can solve two-step word problems, which is a really big adventure because we are adding in the reading component when we get to that. So that involves addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. And they're having to learn how to complete a two-step operation. So it's not just addition that they may be doing, and they may be very well doing some subtraction or multiplication or division, but they have to be able to read and internalize and figure which operation is necessary to make sure the outcome and the solution is accurate. So we have Unit 4, Geometry, and that basically states, I can place shapes in categories. We just finished this one up, depending upon the attributes. So they have to be able to tell the parts and things. I can recognize and draw quadrilaterals, shapes, four sides, including rhombuses, rectangles, and squares. And I know you heard about that at home, Miss uh, Simone's mommy. I know you heard about that. Oh, yes, you did. So now moving on into Unit 5, if we can get that slide on Vanna White. Yes, so we are representing and comparing fractions right now. So it's really coming off like it's like so super smooth and easy, but we're about to go through that with those equivalents. So get ready, because comparing fractions and how they're equal to one another is another ouch moment. So let's get ready for that. And you want them to be able to say, I can show and understand that fractions represent equal parts of a whole, and where the top number is the part and the bottom number is the total part of that whole. So as soon as they are rocking and rolling with this, we are diving into measurements with Unit 6, and they basically will be able to say, I can solve problems that involve measurement and estimation. And again, that will be reading on top of that as well. So they are going to have to solve and do two-step problems there as well. So get ready and do some measuring and come home and maybe cook up a little cake pasta. And then Unit 7, you are going to have an overview of all the standards that they learn. So they should be able to rock it out and be ready to have shown you that they've mastered all these different components and standards. And that's math for you. Signing off.
At our school, we have the early intervention program. We call them, the teachers, the interventionalist, because they work with the students on reading and math for 45 minutes every day. And so they just support us with the students who need extra help, whether it is in reading or math. It's based on a prerequisite from the previous year, and it's also based on data from iReady. But basically, the early intervention program is to provide additional instructional resources for students who need help, who may be performing below grade level, so that they can obtain the necessary academic skills to reach grade level performance, and especially in third grade, where we like to say the rubber meets the road, because it is their first experience with standardized testing. And so the interventionalists really dig in to help us do whatever it is that we need to do to get the kids where they need to be. First standardized test, and as you can hear just from the reading and the math standards that we shared, it is a lot. It's a lot that's required of them. It's a lot to remember, and it's a stressful situation. Well, it can be a stressful situation, but again, we're working with test strategies, how to relax, making sure you have what you need, eating a good breakfast, all of those testing strategies and things to prepare them. We're starting early with that, so that when it comes time for them to take the Georgia milestones, they'll be ready and they won't have to feel nervous or any kind of anxiety about testing. We tell them this is just one more test that you'll take in your life. It's not going to be the end all, but it is important. So we do what we can to try to make sure that they're prepared through the early intervention program, through what we're doing with interventions in the classroom, through the extra stuff that we're doing when we have the boot camps to practice for any of our assessments. All those things are further preparing them to do well on not only the milestones, but as a third grader, so that they're prepared for fourth grade. And PBIS, oh, I wish Miss James was here to talk about PBIS because she gets so excited about PBIS. It's our positive behavior incentive program that we have. We continue to use PBIS and the behavior metrics here at Bethune. The kids know all about it. We have our pride matrix that's discussed every morning, not only on the intercom, but then when we have our circle up time in the classrooms. And it's an opportunity for the kids to just share their experience with our word of the month, whether it is respect or honesty or tolerance. It's also an opportunity for them to just talk about their feelings. It's a way for us to build a family atmosphere in our classrooms so kids can feel a little bit better. And again, it gives them a chance to kind of relax and not be so wound up before our day starts. And it seems to be pretty effective. Also, along with the PBIS, we have our points that they get. They just got their lanyards earlier in the week. So they're excited about being able to not only get PBIS points from their classroom teachers, but from other people immediately. They can scan their badges and get points right then. And so it's just another